Good morning. Today's episode I'm hoping to keep short, like usual. And let's hope that it doesn't run very long. Today I want to get onto a subject that'll probably annoy some people. And that subject is you're not a witch. No, you're not a witch. You have a fancy altar to a certain cardinal direction, with a beautiful athame, or a short sword. You could be adept at casting circles. You could have a cupboard filled with dried herbs. You could have a chalice. Could have all these different colored candles, special minerals, crystals. You're not a witch. You're not a witch. You're not a witch because none of these do anything. You're not a witch because you can whisper the name of something that may or may not have existed countless years ago. And that you're not a witch because you can hold up a stone and you can manifest wealth. Go ahead, try it. Go ahead. You got a collection of crystals and each one does a specific thing and it comes from a specific region that does a specific thing. No, you just got some pretty crystals. You're just bored. You're just bored and you like the thought of the occult. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? There you go. Do that. Become an actual apothecary. Or a mycologist. I know almost I can't say that because there's so many mushrooms, it's ridiculous. I know tons and tons of mushrooms out there in the woods. And plants. If I were to take a kettle and boil some water, and I were to go to my sassafras grove and I would harvest some sassafras roots, and I would go and I would collect some mustard seed, and I would go to a beautiful willow along the side of a bog and carefully harvest some of its inner bark. Don't use the roots, they're too strong. And I were to take some dried lemon peels and some turmeric, and I were to combine all of these in this boiling water and watch the color change on my altar. And then I have made a potion. No, I made a tea. You made a tea. You just made a tea. You did not create magic. You just made tea. Tea. Because you can play a game of chance with a deck of cards. We're not predicting the future or of anyone's life. It reminds me of those street magicians that you sit in an auditorium and they go, "Has anyone experienced the loss of a loved one recently?" Someone go, "Yeah." Oh, he'll nod and then he'll go on to say things like, I'm getting a letter. I'm getting the letter D. Oh, his name was Dave. Ah, yes, Dave. Well, Dave has a message for you from beyond the grave. No, Dave does not have a message for you from beyond the grave. He doesn't. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just playing a role-playing game in real life. I am not saying, however, let me preface this, that there are not witches. That there are not things that I've already gone over some of the things that I can do and I know how to do, just very briefly. If I'm walking through the forest and I'm listening to the birds, the squirrels chirping because they're angry because I'm walking through, and you know, I'm listening to the wind and to the nature, and then everything goes silent, I know there's a predator nearby. Not me, but something that's unnerving nature. Does that make me a witch, a warlock, or a wizard? No. No, it doesn't. That means that I have spent my entire life in the woods, and I know they're upset, so they're going to shut up. Like, you know, if you're being chased by a killer and you're hiding in a locker, are you going to be having an outer monologue the entire time, loudly? Oh, I really hope this killer doesn't check this locker. I saw he had a really large axe. No, you're not going to do that. The same thing with your rocks and your fancy things. If you like to collect those things, just say you like to collect those things. This is pretty. I've seen some really cool crystals. I've been given a couple of cool crystals. I collect some stones and things. There's no properties behind them, other than okay, I'll take that back. A hag stone usually is pretty useful in certain situations, but a hag stone is more uncommon than your weird pink quartzite that you must wear a pendant to piss off your neighbor Lauren. I don't know. Don't fuck with Ouija boards. I know that they're basically fake. However, Ouija boards come from something else that was used as divinity to speak with the dead, which usually wasn't the dead in the way you want it to be. It was something trying to get attached to you, and usually it will. So don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just saying that all these people in the world right now, there's like a resurgence. There's just so many people. I am a witch. Look, I am the closest thing that you probably will ever meet and encounter to a druid. I know all these mushrooms, I know the medicinal properties of them, I know all these roots, these plants, these herbs, these natural medicines. I know how the forest feels. I can sense weather days in advance. I can do the weird energy thing, which I still am not ready to elaborate any further on because I'm pretty sure that nobody fucking gives a fuck about these videos, and no one's found it yet. No one's figured it out yet. No one's given it a touch. So why would I want to elaborate on more advanced things when it's just completely unnecessary? But that's a part of me. That is me. That is not me using outside stimulus. It's kind of like how I like to burn tobacco. My Native American ancestors, they burned tobacco to honor the dead and the spirits. It's fucking terrible for me. Do it anyway. Do I think it's causing any kind of magical mischief? No, I don't. I don't. Now, there are also kinds of magic that you just don't fuck with because they're associated with evil. Let's just say, for example, voodoo. There's a reason why voodoo is dangerous. Lots of reasons why, honestly. Yeah. Silencio just completely. You're not a witch because you combine a bunch of plants and brew some hot water and you offer someone tea. No, you're a healer. You're an apothecary. Or at most, if you really want to stretch it, an alchemist. But you're not a witch. You're not a witch. I mean, there might be actual witches that are here, but you're not a witch. You're not a witch. You join a coven. Cool. All of you combined together, you will accomplish nothing, even if you all got naked underneath the full moon on a certain solstice and danced around a fire. No. You're losing the plot. If you like to role play, that's cool. There's video games, there's Dungeons and Dragons, there's all sorts of things. You want to study plants? Study plants. That's cool. You can make a lot of really good medicines from things you can find in the woods. Salves. You can make teas. You know, you could do all sorts of fun things with funguses. But you're not a witch. Not a witch. Just like I make jokes all the time that I'm a wizard, but I am not a wizard. Not. Look at the Salem witch trials, right? They killed all these people because they weren't getting the plague. Maybe this was a different time, but I remember at the one time that they weren't getting the plague, these women weren't getting the plague, so they were being burned alive as witches. No, these women had cats. The cats were eating the mice were carrying the fleas were carrying the plague. Have cat eat mice, no fleas, you don't get plague, you're a witch. And we also cannot forget one of the most important parts of generalized witchcraft. Do what ye will, yet harm none. So you're not accomplishing anything towards your enemies or to people you don't like. No, because it's forbidden. Unless you're not a good witch, right? And that would just make you evil. And the enemy of things like me. Which, not a good idea. Not a good idea. I just think it's ridiculous because I keep seeing all this stuff, this huge blowing up everywhere all over the internet about witchcraft and the occult, and you're speaking to names of entities that were not immortal, if they even existed in the first place, that perished and were sent somewhere so long ago that your bloodline probably hadn't even began. You're not a witch. You make tea. You make tea. Because you can write a note on a piece of paper, and you can, let's say, you got your altar, most witch, right? You got an altar. You have an altar. It's usually placed in a specific location, generally to a cardinal direction. Correct. And then you have these candles, right? These different colored candles for different types of things. You place them in a specific order, a specific time, specific, moon cycles, solstices. You light them in specific orders. As you do, you welcome good spirits. You're not welcoming good spirits, by the way, because they don't fucking exist. So if anything, what you're inviting is bad things. And, they deceive, like all evil does, and now you think that you are blessed and you have your circle around you, either cast with your athane, your sword, your staff, your wand, or salt. Okay? Now you're trapped in a box with things that are telling you they're good things, but they're not good things. I'm just saying hypothetically, even if it works, because half the time you're doing these things, nothing will happen. Nothing at all. Nothing. It's role playing. It's LARPing. It's LARPing in private. It is. Oh, how do I know all these things? Because I used to think it was real. I had my own custom handwritten book of shadows. I did all sorts of things, blah, 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 blah. And then one day I cast it into a bog. A bog I knew that it would never, ever be able to be recovered from. And I walked away from it. My eyes opened. I was able to see. What the fuck is this? If I need a document telling me about what kind of plants I can use to remove inflammation in my knee, I got that book over there on my bookshelf. I have one by an author known as Yule Gibbons. Very good, very good. But you're not a witch. You're not a witch. If you think you're a witch, you're not a witch. Try it and find out. Really, really, honestly, try it and find out. Go ahead. Target me if you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Many have tried. I fuck around with paranormal things that would make you shit your own pants. And you think that because you're going to write something on a piece of paper and fold it 3 times and then burn it in a chalice with these candles and speak some words, it's going to affect me at all. No, it's not. It's not. And besides, you probably wouldn't notice anyway. My life is complete fucking garbage. Shit. The only thing that's going to improve my life is an impossibility that I just don't want to get into right now. But you're not a witch. Well, no, you're not. These things were misunderstood back in the day. They needed to coin a term. They coined a term. And now y'all follow it blindly like fucking... You gotta do it for fun. I mean... There you go. I like these rocks. I like these teas. Hell, altars can look really cool. And they aren't innately evil. Have a cool altar with all the equipment. Awesome. But don't think that you're a witch. You're not. You're not a witch. Take it from someone that's died, went to the other side, experienced a bunch of crazy shit, and then came back. Take it from the guy that has literally fucking lost all strength. He was sinking to the bottom of a lake. And something holy grabbed a hold of me and ripped me from the waters. Not a person. Something holy. There are things that are good. Mysterious things that are good, that we can't see and that we can't really understand or comprehend, same as there are bad. And when you're running around trying to be a witch, whether you want to be a good witch or whatever, all you're doing is inviting the bad. The bad. And it's not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to increase your family wealth because you did some elaborate thing while naked at 3 o'clock in the morning during a full moon. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And I'm only even making this video just because I'm getting annoyed because it just keeps showing up everywhere. Even though it's not something that I look at or look for, my algorithm has decided, let's just start showing him this shit. Unnecessarily. There's no point in showing me any of it. I don't believe it. Most of it. Because like I said, there are some truths. Some. But the truths are so minuscule in comparison to the greater section of it. You're not a witch. You're a role player. And that's okay. You enjoy what you're doing. Just be careful when you're inviting spirits. Because that can go bad really quickly. Because the good spirits that you're trying to invoke, they're gone. You realize that, right? They're gone. They're gone. They do not exist. In any form, they are gone. The only thing left are bad things. And they will say that they are the good things, and you're going to believe them because you're excited. Just don't do it. This has been the video. It's a much shorter video today. I'm intentionally cutting it short because my furnace is burning me out right now. And I don't like being too warm or too cold. Once again, didn't even finish a cigarette. I haven't even taken one sip of my coffee, so let me take a sip of my coffee. Here. Allow me to come up with a wisdom. These aren't wisdoms. I guess it kind of coincides with the whole things of me talking about things like that are mischiefs. Alright. A large stone is really, really hard to move. Unless it's at the top of a hill. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Don't fuck with shit you don't understand. I don't even understand half. But I understand enough of it to know better. It's called common sense. A lot of us aren't born with it anymore. Enjoy what you do, but be careful when you do it. And if something goes wrong, and fucked up shit starts happening, get a hold of me. And then I go to work. I'd rather not, honestly. I'd rather just sit here in my shack and not fight demons. Spiritual battles suck. They really do. Enjoy your day. I think it's going to be a warm one. This has been the Gray Squirrel. Farewell.